Well, Toby, congratulations on the win.
Yeah.
All about the scrum?
Well, in conditions like that where, the inclement weather comes in really quickly, often the fundamentals of the game start to take over. So set piece, obviously scrum, line out, defence, how you get out of your half. And obviously that suits some of the things that we are, more known for, which is good. But you've got to deliver it, so I'm delighted for the guys that delivered it. 23-man effort, and to get that win and back up Derby wins is always special for sure.
Trailing at half time, but you managed to play the second half on your terms more?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, obviously, all the things we just talked about really. So from that point of view, it's around, who can be the smartest in a way, and who's got the capability to play in a certain way. And we had that suited us. On a different day, it might not have done, but it did today, so we're delighted about it.
And it pays to have that depth of quality front row that you've got there, I guess.
Yeah, I think for 5 as well. I think right the way across, the ball, I thought a lot of the boys. I mean, obviously we had to manage a yellow card, and those things become a little bit more precarious, and we don't find touch and make things interesting at the end. But we've been in difficult places at times in this season where we've been on the wrong side of that, and it's good to get on the right side of it.
Absolutely. Dewi Lake back in the action. He had to come on in the first half. What did you make of his performance?
Yeah, I mean, obviously physical. Everyone knows that Dewi's physical, and he carried the ball, got us on the front foot. And one of the things that was really evident in this game, I think, from both sides, and it was asked by the TV, was around the breakdown. And if you can dominate collisions and take defenders off their feet, then that contest sort of negates a little bit. And I thought Nicky Smith coming on, and obviously our intention was to get Morgan Morris on a little bit sooner, but obviously with the yellow card we had to manage that. Rugby's a collision game where you've got to at times when the weather's like that, you've got to go through the front door, and I think that those boys wrestled that momentum back for us.
After the frustration that you experienced in the Leicester game, how have you been able to turn things around and get the season thoroughly heading in the right direction over the last 3 weeks? I
think that it's not down to me. I think that everyone's played a part in that. I think that the players have certainly played well. Having our leaders back from Wales duty and on song has helped. Justin Tipperick's been excellent, and we've all put our heads together, and it's very much an all-in, not a top-down sort of scenario for us. So I think that's the best thing about that type of result, is because everyone's played a part, and you say, and losing is a habit, so is winning, and to back up 3 performances and results, it gives you great reinforcement to move forward. If you look at our schedule, has been beyond ridiculous really. 2 South African fixtures with effectively no international, 15 players missing, and then going English champions, French champions, 2 Welsh derbies, URC champions elect all every year. Everyone talks about Leinster being the team to beat. We know how difficult that is and the strength and depth they have. And then we go back to French champions and English champions again. So it's been a hell of a block for us. And I suppose it's quite ironic that we're picking up series of wins against the most difficult challenges, which is great for us.
Without the experience of Gareth Anscombe and Stephen Milo at the moment, what have you made of the way that Owen Williams has come in, showed his experience and steered the team around?
Well, I think that, and this is no reflection on people that have been in that shirt, I think that, the air of calm and the air of, the quarterback position, for want of a better parlance, is such an important thing, and to even though he was absolutely petrified when the kick didn't go out at the end, from that point of view, we'll forgive him that because of how he's performed for us since he's been here, and he'll get better and better as he's more familiar. He'll get better and better as he's physically growing into that, because he's come off a pretty average pre-season and stuff for Worcester, etc. And bars is not quite the same. So yeah, he's been an absolute revelation for us, and we're delighted to have him.
And going forward, I mean, if this impasse off the field is resolved, do you see him staying at the region beyond this season?
Well, we've got obviously a lot of boys that are off contract that we need to sort out for sure, and everyone knows that we've got over 30, which is a significant number. I think that from what I understand, that situation is being closer to resolution, I hope, and obviously standardised contracts and bits and pieces like that, all the nuts and bolts and the dotting the I's, crossing the T's, and we'll certainly want to keep good players that we believe that can move the region forward, and that's going to get more and more difficult because everyone knows money's tight. So those decisions are very tough, and we want to try and look after our players as soon as we can.
A couple of supporters organisations out in force making their feelings known. Are you any closer to being able to allocate X, Y and Z to your retention and recruitment for next season?
Not really, but we've talked about, because the ball's been kicked down the road so many times, which makes it really difficult. But what we can do is, I think we can start to, we're getting into the last 6 months of people's contracts now, and we're in decision. So I think it's important that, irrespective of dotting the I's and crossing the T's, throughout this month we need to at least treat people with the respect that we can, and give them an idea of where their future lies, irrespective of the have and the have-nots, but if they're in our plans or not. So it's a very difficult month to navigate, but we've got to do the right thing.
Finally, we're expecting to play Leinster first, seconds or thirds next week.
I think they've got 3 first teams, haven't they, from what everyone says? No, they're a very, very good side. I don't know anything about them. We've just worried about getting these 2 derbies done. We're on short turnaround after short turnaround, so we'll see how we physically prepare, recover, and we know the challenge that Leinster bring, whichever team they bring.